Celery from Let Us Eat, and welcome to my channel. This morning I am going to prep my onions for French onion pork chops. We are going to do shake and bake a little bit differently this week, and I'll show you the step-by-step process to making the French onion pork chops, and then I will show a picture of them when they are assembled. I had a request in messages last night on my ramen chicken noodle casserole to show pictures of things plated. I do have a picture of the ramen casserole in a bowl, because that's how we eat it. So I will include a photo in this video, and I will link the ramen chicken noodles video into the description box below, as well as my recipe. With that said, I'm going to show you everything that you need to make this delicious dish. As you see here, I have everything I need to make my French onion pork chops. I have my onions. I'm going to use about 3 small onions, my cutting board, my pork chops, my garlic and my black pepper, some canola oil to tenderize the porks. I'm going to add some onion soup mix to the shake and bake mix in its baggie here, as well as some celery to put at the bottom of the pan. I have my baking dish to the side, and I have my favorite knife. I'm going to start by prepping my onions. I use the smaller onions so I don't feel like I'm wasting, because the bigger onions are so large that you can cut them in half and save them for another meal, for maybe a lunch dish or the next day's dinner. Your onions are slit. You're going to break them up and put them into your dish off to the side. Because I am going to put them on the frying pan with a little bit of oil, pepper and garlic, and I'm going to caramelize them lightly before they go into the oven later. Make sure it's got a slit all the way through so they break up. When it's down to this part, just cut it. That way you use all the onion. Very strong onions today. My onions are prepped. I'm going to give my hands and my cutting board a quick rinse. And I'm going to open my pork chops. And I'm going to rinse them. And I'm going to put them on the opposite side of the onions onto the dish. I put in the bottom of my pan for flavoring. I'm going to add 2 stalks and set it aside. I keep paper towels around my celery because it stays fresher longer in your fridge. The paper towel absorbs all the water. When I'm cooking my family's dinner, I try to use a lot of fresh ingredients and what I have on hand. Excuse me. The onions are burning my eyes this morning. I am going to be right back. I have my frying pan here with about 2 tablespoons of oil and a little bit of salt so it doesn't splatter. I'm going to caramelize the onions, but not fully because they're going to go into the oven and I want them to crisp up. Depending on your family size, you can do a lot more onions if you wish. I added just salt to the bottom of the pan. About 2 teaspoons. A little bit of garlic. And at this time, add your celery just so it'll be soft and easier to eat when you're ready to eat your pork chops. Reduce the heat, almost low. You can only smell how wonderful it smells. I don't know if you can see, but the onions are starting to turn a light brown and they're starting to caramelize. When I went to culinary school, my teacher said I was really good at caramelizing and seasoning, that it takes years for people to be able to season. That I could be a spice master if I wanted to ever go that route. Okay, I'm going to let these hang out for a little bit, and I'll be right back. If you are enjoying my video so far, please hit the red subscribe word and subscribe. I am now going to season the porks before I put them into the shake and bake bag. I put a little bit of garlic and black pepper onto my porks, about 3 teaspoons each. And about 3 teaspoons of garlic. Put about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of the oil over the porks so the shake and bake sticks. One of the shake and bake porks will be plain and just seasoned with onion and celery. My husband's and my pork will be in the shake and bake. I have 2 kids, one that doesn't eat porks at all. And I'm going to do the porks 2 times each. I hope everybody's having a great week. It's Tuesday. My kids are at school today. Yesterday was homeschooling. Tomorrow I have a school day and an IT tech day where my teenager goes to BOCES for IT, or math and science for coding, and my youngest goes to school all day. Thursday will be a homeschooling for my youngest, and then Friday is school again. Now I have the 2 porks coated, and they're going to look like this. Nice healthy coating, and the coating stays right on the pork chop. Putting a dab of oil, like 2 tablespoons on them, really helps. Now here are the caramelized onions and the celery I cooked ahead of time. Using your spoon with the hole slit in it so the oils drip. You're gonna sprinkle the onions and celery all over the pork chops. And make sure all the vegetables are at the bottom of your baking dish. I will show you exactly what the pork's like, and I will also show you what our dinner looks like on a plate later. So I'm going to process the video at a later time during the day, because I had somebody request to show photos. Garbage bowl in your sink is such a wonderful idea. I'm going to make some apple crumble. I have in my bowl around 2 cups of flour, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and a cup of sugar. And take my wooden spoon and just give this a quick mix. Now I'm going to get some butter, and I'm going to melt it completely. I'm going to pour it all over the flour mixture. I have 9 apples decored in my pot here with the water filled almost up to the rim, and I put in 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and a cup of sugar And I'm going to boil the apples until they're soft. And then I'm going to mix them in my blender. I'm leaving the peels on for the nutrition. I added the butter, about a stick and a half, into the flour, sugar, cinnamon mixture. And then I just took my wooden spoon and I broke it up so it looks like crumble. Mix for about 2 to 3 minutes. You don't want it to form into a dough ball. That is the perfect consistency for a crumble. Your apple cobbler should look like this. The top all crumbly, and it is bubbling. It's not going to be done yet for another 10 minutes or so. I had to take the bottom rack out and wipe the bottom out because some of it splattered, and I didn't want it to fill up the whole kitchen. I'm not the best baker, but I try. Here is what my French onion pork chops look like. I have some caramelized onions all over the top of the pork chops, as well as the sides of the casserole dish, and I tenderized some celery for flavoring, and I added onion soup mix in with the shake and bake to give it that French onion flavor. It's going to be a very juicy and flavorful pork. And I'm also going to add 1 more tablespoon of oil over all the porks so they come out nice and tender and juicy. At this time, if you haven't, please subscribe. Please like my video, and have a great day.